We're now going to be talking with the designer of that fabulous space that you just experienced, C.L. Williams. Welcome back to Central Texas Garden. It's been too long. It's been fun visiting with you here in the studios.
Got to work for a living. But this is good. This is good.
Well, good to see you, and congratulations on that amazing space. And we're going to be talking about kind of demystifying design for our viewers out there. And this is something I hear so often among gardeners. They may be passionate about gardening, they may be passionate about plants, but they're intimidated by design.
Which is a mystery to me also, because I see gardeners who love plants and know how to grow them. Plant collectors, plant growers, they do all these marvelous things. And they even plant plants in their garden. The minute you take 3 different plants and plant them in your garden, you're designing, whether you like it or not.
Right.
You know? And so it's always fascinated me. So that's why this topic is of great interest to me.
Yeah.
To talk about a process that helps me, that I've taken 20 years to learn with all the education and background that I have.
Yeah.
And this process may be useful to your viewers, and parts of it they may like and parts not. But I think that the first and most important part of the process is the vision for your garden.
Okay. Well, let's talk about that, because a lot of people, as you say, start at the kind of the macro or micro level.
Planting a couple of plants. Exactly.
And then they step back and then they look around and think, does that fit? What did I just do?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what happens when you don't have a vision.
Right.
And a vision is not an easy thing to come by. And you may garden for years and years until you finally get the vision that you want in your garden. So it is a cumulative process. And I have learned to coax and train my clients to develop a vision and ask questions, and it's almost like a psychoanalytic procedure.
Well,
but it's much a happier thing than psychoanalysis.
Typically, yes.
You never know what people are going to come up with.
Right.
But the idea is vision, and what is a vision? I think that the core of the vision is emotion.
Yeah.
And so I love looking at my clients saying, they go on and on about their requirements. I want it to be native, I want it to be low maintenance, I want this, I want this. And some of my clients are ironclad types, and they know exactly what they want, which is wonderful for me.
Yeah.
But then I almost invariably blow them away by saying, well, what emotion do you want to feel in your garden? And they always hesitate. And so what I love to do is go back through their requirements and start winnowing out the aspects of their requirements that indicate to me the kind of emotion that they want. For example, I have a client down in near South Texas who's a very formidable lady, and she made it very clear to me that she wanted time to stop in her garden. And that meant that she wanted all the plants to be mature, and that meant that she wanted to make sure that I was there 4 times a year only to keep the garden exactly as it was when it was finished. All of that goes completely against my grain, because I love seasonality and I love maturation. Yeah. She didn't want anything to bloom. She didn't want any berries. This is an evergreen, constant garden. When she walks into that garden, she wants time to stop. And she doesn't want to feel any of the tremendous stresses that she's under running all these different businesses that she runs. She wants what? And so she went through all this, and what do you want to feel? First of all, not many people ask her such direct questions.
Right, yeah.
And I think she was surprised and taken aback by that. And then and she thought for a moment, well, I want time to stop, as I told you. And I want to make sure that it's evergreen. And all the things and then she's pulled herself back from it and said, I want tranquility. And I thought, that's what we're going to do. We're going to design a garden for you which creates as strong a feeling of tranquility as I know how to achieve.
Okay. Right. So you then had a vision.
It was shared. Remember, it was a shared vision between the two of us. I just added a layer to it. And that got her to percolate through all of the layers.
Now, how did that inform your process? What were the steps that you took from that point?
The first thing that she did is that she wanted to put the garden out in a cattle pasture. And I'm a numbers cruncher because I have an MBA amongst other stuff. And I started adding up the cost of all that, picking up and digging up oak trees and putting them out there in this big circle that she wanted.
Because she wanted it to be mature to start.
Exactly.
So,
We're talking about some pretty good sized trees here. And I looked at her and said, you know, why don't we just shift the garden over and insert it into the woods? That saves a lot of money, which was not the primary thing with her, but nevertheless, it does matter. And we can save a lot of money, and not only that, it fits your vision of tying in with the ecosystem. You want this garden to go with the ecosystem, not against it.
Right.
So what we'll do is we'll create a series of concentric circles. We'll make a circle outside, which is cleared, which will give us the sun to grow yopons. And we'll dig up yopons, and we'll plant them in a big circle.
Okay.
And then inside that, we'll leave another bigger circle of the existing live oaks, which will form a canopy above us. So we have a canopy above us, and we have a big hedge around us, so that all of the external distractions are gone when you walk in.
Right.
So what's lacking? The center attraction.
Right.
So I came up with the idea of building this center attraction, which is a granite gravel soil designed dome.
Okay, so a raised bed is what
it's a big raised bed in the shape of a dome.
Okay.
It's about 30 feet in diameter and about 3 feet high. And on that dome, I'm designing a pattern of green native plants, the wonderful palmetto, the nolina, and I'm thinking of using bocarnias, but I'm not sure about the cold hardiness.
Sure.
You know, but those brilliant, highly sculptural green plants, and of course, marvelous sotols. And I'm working out a pattern that shows each of those plants' character to best advantage.
Right.
So they're all freestanding in this geometric pattern. And then I'm working up a silver pattern, because if you want green to be greener, put silver.
Right.
So there's a silver pattern that contravenes and flows with the green. And I started thinking about that. Is that fascinating enough to really get her mind off of, I've got the distractions out of the way, but when she walks in, is it brilliant enough that it'll completely blow her away and she won't think about what's happening at her ranch down in blah, blah, blah.
So let's stop for just a sec, because I want to focus in on what that big the dome itself for a moment. I want people to really imagine what's going to blow her away, and what you were hoping here. Because you have this large feature with patterns kind of swooping across this dome space, with highly structured plants and kind of counterbalanced colors. Right. So it will be dramatic.
Right.
My question to you a few minutes ago was, what's at the center? You know, we were talking concentric circles.
Yeah, so there has to be a center to this.
Right.
And so I just got her consent, because I'm breaking one of her rules, and that's not something that she lets people do. And she's going to let me break the rule and put in these wonderful longleaf pines from East Texas, in part because she has family in East Texas and she loves longleaf pines. And I have 3 feet of designed soil for these. And I've grown them successfully in 3 feet of soil in the hill country before, so I know how to do this. It's not a big risk. And in effect, these magnificent longleaf pines are going to be bonsai'd. You know, and there'll be this glittering, wonderful columnar center to this whole thing.
Grassy columns, basically. Yes.
And they're just, longleaf pines are wonderful things because they catch the light and they catch motion, so that when she's walking around this dome on a really hot South Texas morning, that central spire will glisten and move even in the slightest amount of air, and it will animate the pattern of stainless steel edging that I'm going to put in. And that stainless steel edging will set off a red ground cover, a maroon ground cover, which sets off the green, and then that wonderful serpentine green gravel that will set off the silver. So you've got brushed stainless steel glittering, you have these wonderful silver plants, you have the green plants, you have the red and the green
stone
ground
materials,
covers,
right? Yeah.
And the whole thing will just ripple and glow any time of year. And you think about this list of plants, and they're all tough as nails. So when she says, I don't want to see you and your crew here except 4 times a year, I think I can do that.
Yeah. Well, what I love about this really is, and then I think this speaks to what we were trying to do when we started, was talk about demystifying design somewhat.
Yes.
This is a sophisticated design, but at its heart, it's a
simple.
circle. You have a dome garden surrounded by a circular pathway.
Exactly.
Surrounded by a circle of live oak.
Right.
Surrounded by a circle of yopon.
And lots of people can do that.
Yes.
It is not
rocket science.
It is elemental. It's not rocket science.
Right.
And so design doesn't have to be some incredibly convoluted blah, 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 blah thing.
Yeah, right.
Because really great design is just the opposite of all that blah, blah, blah. It is so powerful that even the dumbest of the dumb get it.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what I want. I want people who don't know anything about gardens to walk into this thing and go, wow, that is just incredible.
Yeah.
And I want them to remember it, and I want them to learn from it. because life is for learning more than anything else.
Yeah.
And so that's the most exciting part of this, because she's an extremely intelligent woman. And when she walks around this garden, I just know that even though it is finished, she'll come up with something else.
Yeah.
And that's the excitement of gardening, because gardening is really all about editing. You go through this process. You do the vision, you select the space, you fit the pieces in the space, you decide on the budget and the ecosystem fit, and on and on and on. But in the end, you have to take the plunge and plant it.
Yeah.
And then you have to be even more courageous and go out and walk around in it and edit.
Yeah.
This was good, that was not. This is...
Sure.
So editing is the most satisfying, hopefully, satisfying thing about design.
Right.
And all gardeners edit. All the gardeners that I know that are terrified.
Is, right?
Yeah, there are gardeners who are terrified of designing. Oh, I can never design anything. I can't. I don't know. But they go out and edit constantly. And the essence of design is editing.
Right.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it's funny that people don't quite see that. And that's one of the reasons that I want our interview to get across to people.
Well, and I think we probably have done that. CL, we really appreciate you coming back on the program. I think that just in the one simple illustration there, you've really helped people get a handle on some big ideas. So thanks so much for being back.
I can't wait
on
to get
Central
some feedback.
Texas. Okay, great.
Good.
Coming up next, it's our friend Daphne Richards.